Right, this is Linton the Swarm Vassal, Bellator light heavyweight contender, and you're watching the MMA Crypt Fighting Talk Show.
Well,
And
this is
that fight was getting stopped within seconds.
well, this is what we can discuss. That's all fine. That's fine. We can discuss this. Are you up for discussing it, Joe?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, fight fans, this is the MMA Crypt Fighting Talk Show. I'm your host, Gregory Stone. Joining me on today's show, we have Joseph Johnson and Joe Diesel Riggs. Now, many of you might have seen my video about Joe Riggs. Was Joe Riggs lying about the eye injury he received in the fight against Ron Stallings at UFC 191? Obviously, Joe referenced in a post-fight interview that the injury was caused by the illegal upkick. In between rounds, I believe I heard Joe Riggs claim that he could not see out of his eye 2 times to his corner after the doctor left. So there's some discrepancies there. Joe's manager has contacted us. He's not too happy about some of the comments I made in the video. So we've got Joe on today. First and foremost, welcome to the show, Joe, and introduce yourself to the fans.
Well, thank you.
Joseph, say hello to the listeners too also.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, Joseph Johnson, introduce yourself to Joe there.
Hey, Joe. My name is Joseph Johnson. I'm also a fighter.
Okay. Well, did you make a comment as well or something?
Yep.
Okay.
So the main thing here is, Joe, I made a video because I watched the post-fight interview with.
Well, the only people that make comments are people that are just people. If people have good things to say, they usually don't say them.
Oh, there is good things. No, Joe, there is good things. I was very impressed with you in the fight. Your ground and pound, I love the old school ground and pound, the way you're setting things up. You was absolutely dominating the fight. Round 1 was 10-9 to you, 10-8 clearly in round 2. I was very impressed with the fact that you was carrying on. Blood was clearly pouring out your eye. True warrior. I was totally impressed. There's nothing to take away there. There's no bad comments there. My comments were solely on, in between rounds 1 and rounds 2, I thought I heard you say, I've even listened back and posted a video as proof, it sounded like you said...
You heard I say I can't.
It sounded like you said I can't see twice.
In between round 1, I said I can't see because it hit my eyeball. And then the guy was pushing a metal compress in my face and I get claustrophobic. But the referee, John wouldn't move, so I couldn't. So until I told the referee that I could see, so he would go. And then when they stood us up, all people heard as I say is I can't. And the judge, but the doctor was opening my eye with his fingers, and he would say, "Okay, when I let go, keep your eye open." And then I couldn't do it because I had four corner lacerations on my eye, and people kept just speculating, saying I can't fight, I can't see, or they were just, I was saying I can't open I can't keep it open. That was all I was saying.
So just to clarify, could you see in between rounds 1 or 2?
Not once I was able to keep rubbing my eye, but I mean not really. It wasn't when I could rub it, and so it's like getting dirt in it. You know, when you rub it, it goes better and kind of goes away a little bit.
Now, we know that standard protocol in MMA. Obviously, the doctor, if you tell the doctor that he cannot see at any point in the fight, he will stop the fight there and then. Can you sort of see fans' reactions to who said that you might possibly be lying and took that opportunity to get the fight?
No, I never. I told it when he kept opening my eye. Obviously, I could not see it. I mean, the eye would not open up. You can't. I mean, I can't lie to the doctor, and I can't see through walls. Okay. I told him I could see. Okay, I could see through my back eye. But I never told him I couldn't fight, and I don't want to stop.
Okay, Joe.
I didn't even complain about the upkick.
Okay, let me change the question for you here, Joe. Was it like in between rounds 1 and rounds 2? Was it like, do you know when you get poked in the eye and it goes all watery and you can't see, you can't open the eyelid? Because it's like when you get poked in the eye, it's sort of like you can't see. It's like very blurry and watery.
But I've had 2 surgeries on that same eye, so it was like getting poked in the eye over and over. Because he was throwing those jabs like Muhammad Ali with those open hand jabs, and he didn't poke me, but it was kind of the end of the leather with on the glove, and then the up kick that was legal got me really good. But then in the second round, the up kick, the pinky toe went really far in my eye.
So there was a difference in your visibility from the up kick.
It was a different what?
Was there a difference in your visibility, your ability to see after the upkick? Because obviously there's
it was bad. I mean, my game plan was going to change because you got two left-handed fighters, and whoever dominates the lead hand usually wins. But he was able. I mean, we were both landing jabs, but he was longer range than me. But I saw he was so worried about my hook, he was blocking. He was blocking the left side of his head. So I knew my left hand was going to land. That's why I came out the pipe, threw an offhand jab and hit with that left hand. But even after that, I was going to put it because he has no takedown defense, and I could have put him on his back anytime I wanted to. And my game plan was going to change, rather that second eye poke happened or not. But he wasn't going to make it out of that onslaught no matter what. He was hurt very badly.
Was there any pain in the eye during the fight, and could you tell us the progression of that pain as the fight went on?
Yeah, it was even when I was hitting him on the ground. I was kind of squinting. It was bothering me, but then it went from about a 7 to about a 10. But I would have fought. I would have still kept fighting. You guys, one of you guys called me a disgrace or something like that, and which is it's hurtful to hear that because all I've done my whole life is fucking bleed for and their fans, and to hear those things are hurtful.
No one's taken away from your past achievements, Joe. Not at all. We are not taking away from your past achievements.
Even that, I've had some mental setbacks, not being able to let my hands go. I went in there and I pulled the trigger a lot more that fight.
It's mainly the point. If you can take this point here, Joe, right? This is your chance to get your side of the story across. But also, I want you to listen to the point of the fans and the point I was trying to make. Obviously, calling you disgrace, that is a little over the top. My apologies. I'll apologise now for saying you disgrace. That was a little over the top. That wasn't in the video. That was a personal message. You're right. Maybe as fans we should.
Well, didn't someone say I used to be strong and now I'm a bitch or something like that? Was that one you two do as well?
That's a bit beyond. That's a bit beyond. I did not say that, Joe. Honestly, I did not say that. That wasn't me.
Okay.
Now, in fans' eyes, it looks like that you said that you couldn't see in between rounds 1 and 2, and then you carried on.
I did because they kept putting a rag in my eye, and I wanted to rub my. I mean, I don't know if you ever got something in your eye. You don't want somebody else rubbing it out for you. You want you to do it yourself. So I kept saying, I can't see. Let me do it myself.
Yeah, but just on TV.
I could see from the fans' perspective, thinking, if I didn't want to fight, I wouldn't have fought.
It just looks like all the right opportunity. He gives you the up kick, and then all of a sudden you say that you can't see, and the referee's in the right spot. But true.
I had no idea what the fuck the outcome was going to be at all. I didn't know they were gonna rule it. I didn't know it was illegal. I'm in a fight. I didn't know what position I was in. I didn't know when I was talking to the doctor. And I was getting mad because he was hurt bad, and I kept in my mind more times going by to give him time to recover. So I kept wanting to, look at my eye. I can't open it up, but I'm able to see out my back eye. The only thing that people heard me say is I can't, and I could not leave my eye open once he let go of it. It would just shut.
What do you make of the decision now, looking back on it? Do you think the correct call was made by the referee to disqualify Ron Stallings?
No. I think you let the guy live and die by his own sword.
So you would have carried on the fight if the referee would have allowed you, basically?
Absolutely.
Have you spoke to Ron Stallings since the fight? Has he said that he's okay
with
the decision?
Yeah. He said that when they originally stood us up, he thought they were stopping the fight because the referee said 3 or 4 times, defend your arm, you want to stop the fight, you can't defend yourself, and he wasn't answering. He just kept taking it. And I would feel it with certain elbows. I would feel when they would break a certain part of his face. And then when he found out the fight was done altogether, he said, I wasn't. I don't know his exact words were because he did an interview. He said, I wasn't putting too much of a fight because my legs weren't back yet.
How do you feel emotionally in winning the fight that way? Because obviously you was dominating. I do believe you won the first round.
Well, I wish I would have. It wouldn't have happened. But I mean, if anybody's ever watched, any kind of fight in their life, they could see who was a better fighter.
Well, I suppose the main question now, you mentioned your reference to having surgery on the eye previously. How's the eye now? How's the injury, Joe?
It's good. I'm going to have to, do something. in practice, so it happens a lot when people flick jabs at me. I think it was just a series of unfortunate events. You know, it went from a jab, you know, then another poke, and then, you know, I mean, I don't know if one of you guys said that I'm a pussy and have no heart. You know,
Never,
my
never,
eye hurt really bad in the first round, and you know, I kept trying to draw him and catch him with counter hook, but you know, I think it just, you know, landed perfectly a couple times, but there was a second camera angle Joe Silva sent me where it shows his pinky toe going to my eye, going to my right eye, and that's why there's a scratch mark that goes all the way down the side of my face. And my doctor pulled a toenail out of it like 3 days later when I got home.
A toenail at your eyeball?
Yeah, because they would give me numbing drops, and it would wear off, and then I would be back to closing. And then I went to the doctor's, and then he saw something, and then he pulled it out. It was I don't know if it was a toe. I mean, it had to be a toenail, not a fingernail. It was a nail. So it's like, if you get a piece of dirt in your eye and it goes in the back, your eye's going to work it out somewhere. So it's going to work.
Do you know where this
out.
come from? Was this Ron Stallings' like fingernail or something? Is that what it was?
I'm sure it was his pinky toenail. I'm sure.
Well, I'll bring in Joseph Johnson here to talk about the flicking out of the hands by Ron Stallings. Hopefully we talk about that. Joseph's got his opinion on that. But I just want to clarify, we did not call you a pussy in any way. There's probably been a lot of messages left for you. I did make a video saying that you said that you couldn't see between rounds 1 and 2, and then you said afterwards that you couldn't see after the upkick. That was the only discrepancies that I talked about, and it come across like you was lying. You've come in,
I couldn't. I said I couldn't see during the first and second round because they wouldn't let me do what I wanted with my own eye, and I couldn't, you know, rub my eye because they kept fucking with me, and I said I couldn't see and let me do it myself. And John, my coach, he was trying to protect me, but the doctor's not going to leave the ring until he hears me say I'm fine, I could see. And then he did. Then finally did that. But when they stood us up, the only thing people could hear is me saying I can't. It was pretending I can't keep it open. That's it.
Okay, I'll refer to Joseph now. Joseph, take it away, mate.
Yeah, that first round when Stallings were throwing those jabs, it looked like it was just barely hitting your eye. Was that what the eye injury came from, or was it just
it was the jab did it. I caught it on the side of his elbow the second time. Then the illegal up kick in the first round did it. That did it. And then so there was 4 different shots to the eye that hurt. There was one legitimate jab that hit it that was good.
Because I did, when that second round came around, I did see a cut above your eye or on your eye. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a scratch on my eyebrow. But if you go back and look, there's a like it looks like a nail scratch going down the side of my right face, and it's from his toenail.
Was there an urgency in round 2 there, Joe Riggs, to finish the fight because you had the eye injury? Was there a real urgency? Because obviously once you got him down, it was brutal ground and pound. There's no trying to pass this guy.
I mean, it's a fight that was bad for him because he sits on his back and tries to let people, you know, he tries to catch people from the back. You give me enough time, I'll put you away in the back, you know, and that's what was obviously happening. And he wasn't even trying to get up. He still was trying to throw up triangles. You know, when they stood us up, I was inside mount again.
Yeah, because when the referee did break you up, Stallings, he sort of was on his knees. He didn't look in a good way. Do you think that if the round carried on, that you could have polished him off in round 2?
Yeah, I'm a very honest man. I'll tell you, he was 5 seconds away from being done. Jason Herzog said, you know, Ron, defend yourself. Ron, are you okay? Ron, defend yourself. You got to work. I want to stop the fight. And then it happened. You know, he said those 3 warnings within the 15 seconds. Because I don't throw like 10 little shitty punches, you know, in a row. I'll throw, you know, 1 punch every 4 seconds, but they come from hell.
Yeah, you had that old school ground and pound that made the UFC's ground and pound famous. Now everybody that does ground and pound just tries to use it just to pass to get a submission. Yeah. I got mounted him when I dropped him, but I let him put me back in guard because I prefer to punch there.
Sorry, Joe. Carry on. Carry on. My apologies.
No, I just say I prefer punching from someone's guard than half guard or mount or side mount.
Well, one last question from me, Joe, before I pass over to Joseph to round things off. You referenced to your corner there, trying to shield you from the doctor. How did you feel about that? Because I've had a little bit of a back and forth on the MMAcrypt.com website about this. I didn't... See, I sort of feel like the corner should have the best interest of the fighter. I understand that they're trying to protect you and they want you to carry on. They understand.
Well, yeah. It's a corner's job to watch out for his fighter. If he felt that I was, like my coach said, he didn't know because he seen me my eye get poked in the gym before. But in Vegas, you can't hide a wound from the doctor. The doctor was standing right there waiting for me to say I'm okay, and I couldn't do it until they would get the fuck out of the way. And then right when I said I'm good, I could see they left.
Are you happy having a corner like that? Because there's some fighters who might not be. Does that fit for you? Obviously, everyone's different. Does that sort of cornering fit for you, where they'll protect you and push you on in a fight when the going gets tough?
No, because I've been in a lot of wars. I've taken shots. I'm thankful enough to still have a chin, but I've earned the right to go out the way I wanted.
Okay, Joseph. Any last words for Joe Riggs here?
This one. If Ron Stallings would like a rematch, would you grant it to him, or would you go on to bigger, better fights?
No, I would absolutely give it to him, but I bet both my houses that he wouldn't. Not because he's not a good fighter. I said this the whole leading up to the fight. He's a dangerous fighter, but stylistically he's a bad matchup for him. I'm a bad matchup for him, and because I could have taken him down anytime I wanted to, but I chose to strike with him just because I'm right-handed. Two southpaws, right hand lands, and then I saw the left hand was giving me an opening, so I took it there. On the feet, I kept like that left hand landed a lot. He landed. Even on the feet, the first round, he didn't land. The thing he did is when he went to that triangle and that omoplata he rolled into, he grabbed my gloves with both hands so I couldn't pull out. Which I do it too, so it's not. It's just trying to get by. But he didn't really. He knows it's a bad matchup for him. He's a great guy, and most people wouldn't admit that they were fucked in the fight like he did. So hats off to him.
Yeah, usually that ground and pound you were landing in that second round, usually people are tapped out already.
He has the hardest head I ever felt in my life because I have bursitis in my elbows, and my elbows are swelled up like two big pairs of tits.
Well, I just wanted to...
Just hitting the head. Well, I appreciate you guys apologizing because I get, 20, 100 nice things, get covered up by one insulting thing,
Well,
like
I appreciate the apology.
Like I told your manager, I've been a fan since you whooped up on Nick Diaz, and that was, heck, I don't even know how long ago. And I've been a fan ever since.
2007. Well, I appreciate that, but I just don't understand why a fight like that, when I fought a great fight, just got poked in the eye with warrant comments like that. It just, I forgive you, so I appreciate the apology. I just, I don't understand. I don't really understand that,
Well, we certainly appreciate the time, and we certainly appreciate you giving your side of the fight there. But we would like to clarify from the MMAcrypt.com website and myself and Joseph, I did not call you a pussy under any of those circumstances, anything like that. It's just foul. I wouldn't use those sort of foul terms. That's just disgusting. I did say ashamed about the win because I felt like you was lying, but I think I jumped the gun there. We all live and learn. My apologies. I will apologise live on air.
Well, you got to put in this perspective. If the other guy said he's a fighter. If you're fighting a guy and you're beating him to death, why would you quit?
There's no reason to quit.
There was an explanation for that. My explanation was your eye was bothering you so much, which makes you a real warrior to carry on the way you did, that obviously the rest stood you up. It's like, time to opt out. The perfect time now. I'm not going to walk away with a loss to this guy when I'm smashing him up just because he caught me in the eye. I'll take it now because it's a money game.
He was closer to being done than you know.
Because you was 0-2 as well, and obviously your job was on the line, and obviously you take a win bonus too. You get double money. It's sort of in the heat of the moment.
but I was the biggest thing. What you guys don't know is he was teetering. I mean, Jason even said he was moments away from coming in just because when you're fighting you get 3 warnings to the referee before he stops it. He said the third one, and then I hit him with another big shot. So I feel cheated because my time in the light got kind of gets clouded because of that.
Well, Joe,
Sorry,
Joe. Well, you clarified things here, Joe, with us too. You clarified things about the fight with us. Obviously, you mentioned about the haters. It was a very good fight. You don't like the hate comments just coming off one negative thing. You've also clarified your position on that. That it got worse after the up kick. So you clarified that there. Is there anything you would like to say, leaving to the haters?
Yeah, I did. In the beginning, yeah, I do. In the beginning of my career, I have some mental lapses have stricken me in my career, but I would never quit in a fight to get away. I'm not Jamie Bonner, so yeah. I would never do something like that, especially, when you're, especially when you're in there and you feel a guy, you feel him breaking, and you feel his will and his soul fucking depleting and going away. And then something like that happened. Believe me, that's the last thing I wanted to happen. I wanted him to be left spread abroad on the ground with my hand raised and be triumphant, and the way it should have been. It's kind of bittersweet.
Well, hopefully I can. I did intend to speak to Ron Stallings too. Hopefully we can get Ron Stallings' side on this, and he can also clarify, because it was a rough fight for him. Also, he apparently received multiple injuries during the fight, so we can clarify his side up for you as well. But Joe, a big thank you for coming on today and clearing things up, and obviously getting your side off, the side across on the show as well.
Yeah, say it again.
Just a big thank you for coming on once again and getting your point across.
I appreciate it. And Kyle, if I would have saw stuff like that on my social media, it would have bothered me. So and I would have taken it more personally. You guys seem like you're intelligent guys about the sport, and you guys have fought. You guys know better than that. And I would hope you guys have seen me fight a lot of times. I'm sure.
So the message here, Joe Riggs, I think you're trying to get across is fighters have feelings and emotions too.
Yeah, exactly right, man. And I'm good friends with Matt Brown, and then my career is coming to an end, but the fights I do have, I'm going in there with the mentality of kill or die.
Well, you're still a young fighter, and not a lot of people your age has 60 or almost 60 fights. So,
okay, I beat Keith Jardine when I was 17. That's not even listed on my record. I got more fights than that, but I'm younger than people think. But I got more respect from this sport than to do studying. Because if someone were to quit like that, or not even quit, but just try to get an easy. I have a lot of money. I don't need an extra, bonus check. So, outside of fighting, I've been very blessed. So, that wouldn't have, made my decision at all. I just, not at all.
Just one last quick question, Joe Riggs. You mentioned about the fans. Obviously, they leave a lot of hate comments. But what about your fellow fighters, fellow peers? What have they said to you? Because there's always the Twitter reaction now from fellow fighters. What did they make of the decision with Ron Stallings?
Well, what other fighters think of Ron Stallings?
Yeah, because we notice on fight nights now a lot of fighters tweet. They use the Twitter to get their opinions on certain fight finishes.
I think that the hardcore, the well-known, the guys that are actually the fighters that are fans of the sport, they got to give him. They know he's a tough guy. When he was fighting Uriah Hall, he was getting off on Uriah beat until he got hit. Until he got cut. He's a very, very tough guy. And, I didn't take him lightly. I got really, really sick for the fight. But, he was a real, when Joe Silva called me, I I was happy because of the stylistic matchup. But you know, he's a tough guy. You know, if he fights the right guy and he's a big name, he'll surprise people.
Okay, Cryptors, that's all for today's show. We certainly hope you enjoyed today's show. It's been a treat, something special, nothing planned. It actually just came together within the last hour, so I certainly hope you all enjoyed it. We finally got Joseph Johnson on the show, and obviously Joe Riggs. So, from the MMA Crypt Fighting Talk Show, guys, as always, thank you for watching.